Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. All right. If there's anything that you want me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is the eon or judgment, rebirth, reawakening, baptism by fire. This is very interesting. This full moon energy that we're experiencing, full moon is on Monday, it is in Gemini. This is going to be a very powerful moment for you. I feel as if there is a big shift in your life coming. Okay, a very, very big moment, especially with this card front and center, first card out of the deck today. Some temperance. All right, maybe there's a little bit of, yes, now we have more fire. Maybe a little bit of patience is needed. Let's see. Interesting energies here. We've got the Fool. Look at all these major arcana right here. This is a very big moment. This is a very significant doorway for you. Okay. Oh, man. Wow, this is a little bit of everything, I gotta be honest with you. I feel like it is leveling up your life intensely. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot, and I kind of like this one over here. We're going to put Mr. Ed right there on top, and we are not going to look at that card until the very end of the reading, and it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need. Okay. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, please put your prediction in the comments below. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right? I think it'll be fun. Let's take a look around again. All this major arcana right here. This is the horizontal world. This is spirit really acting directly in your life, intervening almost in your daily life. This is the horizontal world, right? This is the earthly realm. Now, kind of in the more spiritual realm, we've got a similar kind of thing. Okay, water and fire. And in between is this doorway. In between is also the temperance card. Right, between water and fire, between confidence, between active, dynamic, this kind of seize the day attitude, and the more easygoing, go with the flow, kind of receptive, just accepting kind of what comes in the course of the day energy here. Similar to what we've got with between the Fool and the Emperor, right? So it's almost as if we're very, God, this is really good. This is really intense. This is a big moment for you. We have this doorway that's leading us from the Fool to the Emperor, right? And I mean, that's pretty on the nose. And then we've got this, the temperance energy that says we've got to temper our water and our fire. We don't want to be all fire. We certainly don't want to go through a doorway that's all fire. Now the Emperor is just kind of mean and cruel, bit of a tyrant, bit of a bully, right? And we don't want to stay here either with the water and the Fool energy, because that's just that's someone who is very sensitive, very emotional, kind of immature, kind of doesn't take anything all that seriously, or takes everything too seriously, takes everything too personally, right? So this is really a huge, huge moment for you, and we do need that temperance energy. Beautiful major arcana. We've got fire. We've got water. Don't have any air. Again, this is the third reading that I've done today. No swords. We get swords in the extended sometimes, but right now, no swords. We have a little bit of air with the Fool. And we've got some other form of communication with the High Priestess. Okay, and this, I don't know if you know this, this is the full moon. Right? This is the full moon card. So that's going to be the challenge now, I think, is really to just kind of accept what's going on, to just go through this door and make the choice to do this. I was going to say to just go with the flow of it. Maybe I did say that. I don't remember. But it's not so much going with the flow of it, but it's this acceptance, right? So in some ways we're going with the flow, but we're accepting this power, this big moment, and we're choosing to go through this doorway, right? It's a choice, Capricorn. It's a choice. And we've got some earth energy too that we're working on. And look what's happening. Like I said, this reading has a little bit of everything. Look what's happening with the earth energy, going from a 5, worry, concern, struggle, poverty, even, to success, right? To wholeness, to harmony, to health, to a lucrative business, or a healthy life, a balanced, harmonious body, etc. Now, we're going to look at all these things individually, but I want to say this is not a romance reading, though we do got love in the position of your relationships. This isn't a career reading, though we do see business is going to be getting pretty good. It's not a health reading, though we also see that health matters might be improving. This isn't a spiritual, creative reading, although we do see this really huge transition in our approach to the world, in our consciousness, you know. This isn't any of those readings. This is a life reading, okay? I think that's what I do here. I do life readings. So where to start? I guess that's the question. Let's start on the path of the dove, because that's what we do. We want to talk about the Eon or Judgment card as I throw all the cards on the floor. This is that doorway. This is that fiery doorway. This is kind of one of these portals, and I think the full moon coming is acting as this, almost as a portal for you, or it's bringing in this psychic energy that's going to allow you to perceive this doorway and to take advantage of it, to make the decision to walk through it. It's a fiery doorway. It's a difficult thing, right? It's fire. So I think what it's signifying, especially when we have the Fool kind of in the background, for one thing, we're going to kind of leave some childish things behind. There are things that we think or feel or believe or do, or relationships we have, or whatever it might be, that I think we've outgrown, right? I think we've outgrown. Now, we don't want this emperor to be just stuffy and uptight and no fun at all, right? No one likes a strict, kind of lifeless emperor, right? We want an emperor that's going to be fun, jolly, and that likes to have a good time. So we need that temperance still, okay? But initially, I feel like this doorway, this choice we're going to say, well, I got to leave my childhood behind. Maybe this is the past, the history, the culture, the training, the upbringing. I got to leave all my childhood issues behind. Maybe this is saying that, look, my life as it was is done. I'm making this shift into my adulthood, or this is kind of from the easy days of life. Now things are getting serious, right? This is any kind of it's a growth. It's an initiation, right? There's a lot of these rites of passages in life. There's a lot of transitions. There's a lot of initiations in life. And this could literally be from childhood to adulthood. It could be from school to work. It could be from work or career into retirement. It could be from not having a specific direction to having a very specific direction in life. Okay, any transition like this is the big moment for you. And this fiery doorway says that we have to be willing to shed something. right? To put down childish things, to put down things that we can't take with us, that don't serve a purpose for us anymore, that aren't useful in this next leg of our journey, right? And interesting, the Fool is the 0 card, and the 0 is the hero, right? And this is the character that's moving into each of these cards. So this is saying that you're not changing who you are. It doesn't mean that you can't like the same TV shows that you like, right? It doesn't mean that we have to stop hanging out with our friends or not have friends or whatever, you know. It's about a shifting of our priorities, a shifting of our consciousness. But we will always be who we are, right? As a spiritual being, we don't change. There is part of us, I believe, I feel, and the Fool, I think, represents that part of us that is pure and unchanging. And this is going into all of these other cards, okay? So it's almost as if this fiery doorway, it's not changing who we are. It's stripping us down. It's stripping off all of the excess stuff from the Fool. In some ways, we're going backwards, right? In some ways, we're returning to a more original state. It's this kind of the, this could be the metempsychosis, right? This could be the transferring of consciousness from one physical form to another. And that's kind of that we could look at it that way if you want to go down that route. But I think this is coming into a more self-directed life. Okay? The Emperor here is in control, has rules, has a bedtime now, you know, has more responsibilities, has more power, has more resources available to them, right? Has a much larger radius, right, of influence. And I think that you're moving into this kind of responsibility. And I don't know if this is primarily at work, at school, at home. Again, it's a life reading. So this is you kind of taking your life, taking your plans, taking your destiny a little bit more seriously. Or not that you've been, you know, not taking it seriously, but I feel that there's a concentration now. I almost feel like you were doing many things. Now we're kind of narrowing it down. You know, I feel like it's not so much that your behaviors are more narrow and focused, but your consciousness now is more one-pointed. That maybe you have a specific goal now that you're going after. Okay? At the top, we've got this deep, deep water, the Queen of Cups. And this is really, this is a sensitivity. I think that you're a very sensitive person. You have very deep emotions. So I think that you are very much affected by the energies that are coming in around you. Okay. And this, I'm kind of searching for some other words to describe this. I guess sensitivity is the best way to do it. It's kind of, it's a more diffuse ego boundary. It's a more diffuse emotional boundary. This is kind of saying that I don't know where my feelings end and theirs begin. Right? And so this needs to be fortified. And we see that directly here with the fire energy. Now, we don't want too much of either one, right? We don't want too much of that Queen of Cups. We certainly don't want too much of the Five of Wands, because then our Emperor becomes that tyrant and that bully and that big meanie. So that's where the Temperance card comes in, and it is fire and water. It is the kind of, it is a yin-yang kind of balance, right? We balance the water with a little bit of fire. We balance the fire with a little bit of water. We still want our sensitivity. You know, we're not trying to be closed off, but we're trying to be a little bit more, to have a little bit more boundaries, like I said, emotionally, knowing how you feel, being confident in what you feel and what you believe, what you perceive, what your intuition tells you, and then understanding that as being distinct from what they feel and think and say and want and desire and these things. And that's the emperor. That's a balanced, strong and balanced emperor. One that can feel, one that is sensitive, but also strong and confident. One that can say, yes, sure, yes, go ahead. And it can also say, no, I'm sorry, no. With equal poise, right? So we're not blown about by the winds of change, but we're also not trying to just be a complete stick in the mud, right? That's just not going to move. We're flexible but firm. We're strong but yielding. We're fire but gentle water too. Yeah. And that, I think, is a really big shift in consciousness. And I think that's what really makes a perfect emperor. Now let's go to the path of the serpent. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And send some comments to me. I love reading the comments. My favorite part of doing this is hearing from you, Okay. So we talked about the shift in consciousness, the big kind of moment, the portal activation that I think is taking place in your life right now surrounding this full moon energy, okay? Whether you believe in astrology or not, it doesn't matter. Sometimes we need some kind of a significant astrological event. I know it's not that significant, but we need some sort of a green light from the world around us, And what better time to have this kind of shift in consciousness than during a full moon? Yeah. I'm not saying that the two are connected in any way, but they could be. We don't know. All right, let's see. The Five of Pentacles, general energy. There's a lot of movement in your physical environment. There are things that you wish were better. There are things that you're working on. Projects at home, trying to fix up things, trying to repair things, trying to heal your body, perhaps. Trying to heal your finances. Okay? And these are the things of life. These are the daily things that we have to deal with. We all have finances, right, that need more or less fixing. We all have a physical body that at least needs maintenance or exercise or some sort of movement, right? We could need healing. We all have a physical environment that needs to be cleaned, needs to be renovated, needs to be deep cleaned, needs to be added onto, augmented, altered in some way, right? And those are the stressful things. The Five of Pentacles to me is showing a life where there's always something that needs to be done. Yeah. And I think the Emperor needs that. The Emperor needs projects. Needs things, needs these big, that's why they built the pyramids, for instance. And maybe they're power generators, maybe they're rocket ships, I don't know. But in one way of looking at it, the pharaohs needed something to do. They needed a big thing, a big effort to bring everybody together. I don't think they used slaves. I think they hired the citizens, So this, I think, is your general, and I think for a Capricorn, this is perfect, because Capricorns, to me, are always looking for something to do, always looking for a mountain to climb, always looking for a pyramid to build. Yeah. And there is probably one or more areas of your life that feel that they need a little bit more attention than the others. Maybe for some of you this is physical, for some of you financial, for some of you it's related to the home or the physical environment. So there's some area that needs a little bit more attention, a little bit more healing, a little bit more effort than another area. Okay. And of course, we've got the Six of Pentacles at the end. This kind of looks like the full moon, right? It looks like this blinding light from the moon, and we're just kind of, for one thing, it's shining down on all of this. And for another thing, it's kind of like we're just being sucked right in through that. This is the Six of Pentacles. This is material success. This is telling me that whatever the emphasis here of the 5, because the 5 is off balance. The 5 is movement. The 6 is steady and stable and beautiful and healed. This needs healing. This is healed. Right? This is in need of something. This is that something restored. It's a 5. We're missing one. Our perfect harmony is missing one piece. Well, we're getting that piece. Okay? We're getting that piece. And the Two of Cups, yes, it's in the environment. Yes, this card is called love. You're going to be experiencing more love in your environment, in your relationships, with your pets, your plants, your people, with yourself, with life, with your work, with everything. And this, I think, is signifying that in your one-on-one moments with anything, one-on-one moments with yourself, with another person, a friend, a family member, coworker, your dog or cat, or lizard or whatever. Maybe you've got a duck, a frog, a lizard, and an alien. In the one-on-one moments of your life, you're going to have this deeper realization that love, that the consciousness within that person, and I don't even know if we can call it consciousness. It's love, it's will, it's something. It's not separate. It's almost like you can feel your third eye. I think you'll experience a pressure here because you're recognizing the spirit in somebody else, and it's resonating with you on that spiritual level, and it's the realization that we are all coming from the same source. See, these 2 cups, right? The one-on-one connection. There's a common source for that love, for that feeling, for that consciousness, for that experience. So it's love. It's romantic love. It's platonic love. It's the love for humanity, the love for the universe, the love for our pets, plants, our people, the love for life, right? It's a ubiquitous love for everything. But it's experienced in those one-on-one moments. In that one-on-one connection, you experience the grand connection. Right? The one-on-one connection brings you closer to source. Maybe because it's easier to see and feel when it's just kind of 2 forces, and then we can see their unity. But if we have just, a billion things, we may perceive the unity, but in a different way. Kind of seeing them from outside, seeing the unity from all around, rather than being immersed in that and feeling that third eye resonance. For some of you, this is going to be primarily romantic. Okay. For others, this is going to be the platonic thing. This is going to be something with family, right? Spending time with a parent, grandparent, a sibling, a child, and having that experience of that kind of, it's like their consciousness and your consciousness are just kind of doing the wink and the handshake, And that's going to be a good feeling for you. And again, some of it's going to be romantic, some of it's going to be platonic. It depends on where your focus is in life. Okay? This is a life reading. The next card is the full moon itself. And this is the difficulty. The difficulty is really dealing with this influx of spiritual psychic energy. And I think that it's, for whatever reason, this time around, the full moon is really waking a lot of people up. I feel collectively we're all kind of tuned into the right frequency now, that we're all receiving this kind of psychic spiritual energy. And I think if we're not prepared for it, if we're not expecting it, it could be overwhelming. And that, I think, is going to lead to a lot of miscommunication when we try to talk about stuff, right? I've been kind of flubbing my words lately and stuttering and saying the wrong things, and this kind of more than usual, I guess. And I find it rather strange that there's no swords in any of my readings. This is the third reading today. Not a single sword in the main reading anywhere. And I think that's because, look, during this full moon, we don't want to try too hard to find the right words. Just let the feeling exist. Especially in these one-on-one interactions. Let's not try to talk. Let's not try to debate. Let's just exist in that energy with each other. And you'll know, they'll know what you're trying to say without saying it. Because once we start opening our mouths and our intellect starts kicking into gear, then we're going to make a mess of things. Because there's so much of this lunar, psychic, spiritual energy flowing that it's kind of disrupting that intellectual communication, right? This is one of those things where you try to put it into words and you're going to confuse yourself and everybody else. Yeah. And that's the difficulty. The difficulty is really in the silent reception of that spiritual energy and not trying to talk about it, because it's you're going to be moonstruck, right? You're going to be enthusiastic. You're going to be filled with the Spirit. And you're going to want to talk about it, right? And you know what I mean, because any time that you really experience something that hits you that hard or that deeply, you're eager. You can't wait to share it. You can't wait to talk about it, But in this case, the swords are here. We're communicating in different ways. It's more of a vibe. It's more of that third eye resonance than it is us trying to have a conversation about it. The other way that we want to talk about these swords cards is not that we're going to keep our mouth shut and not talk about it, but that we're going to do so in a way that will be effective, right? And that again is kind of the art or temperance card. Maybe it is communicating through art. Maybe it is communicating through a more restrained way, right? Through a more refined way. Using fewer words. Why use more words when few words do trick, right? Kevin from The Office. Simplifying things, right? Allowing things to just exist rather than trying to force all the details, as I kind of feel like I'm doing right now with that energy. So we'll leave it alone. We end with the Six of Pentacles, and this is material success. This is the moon in Taurus. This is really showing that this full moon has a strong influence on your environment right now and in the productivity of your kind of physical life, your behaviors, right? What needs healing will be healed. And this is really that moonlight kind of shining all through your life. Every area of your life is going to see this kind of healing, right? Big moment in consciousness. And as far as this water and earth are concerned, this is really, really big. This is a huge moment for you, Capricorn. Really big moment. Let's take a look at this mystery card, though. Yeah, let's see what this might be. I hope it's the devil energy. I hope it's not swords. If you have an idea of what it is, put your prediction in the comments below. Maybe it'll be a 6 of something. I think we need one more 6. We have a 5 of Pentacles, a 6 of Pentacles. We've got a 5 of Wands. We need a 6 of Wands. No, it's not a 6 of Wands, but it is a Capricorn energy. It's not the Devil card, but it's the Knight of Pentacles. This is the Capricorn energy, the cardinal earth energy, fire of earth, in action. Right? So this is kind of telling me that all of this in theory sounds great, but you're actually putting it to use. This is you now out in the world doing the darn thing. Yeah? This is the perfect confirmation. It's not just theoretical. You're putting it to practical use. You're taking advantage of it, and you're getting things done. This is really good. Not too much needs to be said about that. You're in your element. You're in your power. This is a big moment for you. And you're ready, and you've got the vision. You've got the spiritual sight to know what your future should look like. And you're ready to do these things to get there. You're ready to have all of this love and abundance flowing in your life. And it will. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, click up here in the corner. That'll give you access to every extended reading. You can cross-watch, check your other placements. Maybe watch the Sagittarius reading because we got that Art or Temperance card. Maybe the Aries too would help in some way. I'm here every day from 6 to 8 a.m. Chicago time. I hope you'll come back and join me again tomorrow. Let's hang out. This is fun. Capricorn specific readings are Thursdays and Sundays. All right. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It doesn't cost you anything. Totally free. And it helps the channel. I appreciate that. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.